So, let's consider the type of feedback you want to collect. Our friends at Keystone Accountability, an NGO that helps organizations improve their effectiveness, have identified 4 types of feedback. The first category of questions are about the perceived value of your activities, services, or products. For example, how important are the services provided by my organization to your family? These kinds of questions help you learn about what works best to bring about the changes you want to see. What's the second category? It's quality of service. This can include questions like, did our organization perform to a high standard? Was the service provided at the convenient time and place? These questions help you create mutually accountable relationships between stakeholders and authentic ties that are less distorted by differences in power. The third category is all about stakeholders' perceptions of outcomes. Do respondents report changes because of your activities? This can include both intended results and even unintended ones. These questions support you to have a better understanding of the multiple actors that contribute directly or indirectly to the achievement of goals. The fourth, and actually a critical category, is about the quality of relationships. This includes things like, do you feel you are treated with respect? Do you feel that your voice is heard? These questions are likely looking in the mirror and asking yourself, how effectively does my organization honor and carry out the commitments we make to our stakeholders? These kind of questions require courage, but by asking and responding to this kind of feedback, you are demonstrating a willingness to be held to account. Let's look at the real-life example of using feedback questions to strengthen a system of very diverse actors in Nepal. The desired result was improved delivery of public services like health services and road maintenance by the government, NGOs, and businesses. To achieve this, the program engaged citizens, government, NGOs, and businesses in dialogue about service delivery in their communities and the respective roles that various actors played in the larger service delivery system. An advisory group of local leaders and government officials worked with program managers from international organizations to develop the feedback process. Then, a feedback survey was designed so that citizens and service providers could share their perceptions of coordination, community roles, and the quality of the relationship with each other at the local level. Here are just a few of the questions that were included in the Nepal feedback survey. As I list them, see if you can identify the question category from the 4 types I shared at the start of this lesson. The assistance we receive from the government takes our needs into account. That's perceived value of service. I feel free to ask questions and say what I think when interacting with public service providers. This looks at the quality of the relationship. I am satisfied with the way that all service providers have worked together to meet their commitments. This one's perception of outcomes. And lastly, I expect to be able to fully benefit from the service providers in a year's time. This one's a quality of service question. The results of the survey were shared during community forums. At these meetings, citizens and service providers come together to discuss the results, identify priority areas, and develop a plan of action. The same survey was implemented several times to see if the perception of government officers have improved, which would indicate a positive improvement in performance. Do you see how this approach embraces a systems perspective? The desired result was better coordination and appreciation of everyone's roles and responsibilities, service provider and citizen alike. The program tapped local resources since regular meetings were already mandated by government. The community dialogue strengthened relationships, and as the trust increased, even more community assets were discovered and leveraged. All of this creates an enabling environment where informal rules about who traditionally gets priority access to services could get re-examined. As you develop our own survey, remember to keep it brief. I recommend no more than 3 to 4 questions per survey.